What if water wasn't just on the surface? What if it was the entire world, just an endless ocean hiding something in the dark? Today, we're going to that planet and to the bottom of that ocean. We call our home Earth a water planet, but let's be honest, that is a terrible name. Yes, over 70% of its surface is covered in water, and when you stand on a beach and look out at the horizon, the ocean feels impossibly deep and endless. But it's a cosmic illusion in a way. If you were to gather up every single drop of water on our planet, every ocean, river, and glacier, it would barely form a puddle compared to the massive ball of rock underneath it. On Earth, water makes up less than 1% of the planet's actual mass. We spend billions of dollars shooting telescopes into the dark, looking for other planets with water. Why? Because where there is water, there is usually life. But what if you found a planet where the water wasn't just a thin feature on the surface, but the entire world itself? A planet with no shorelines, no islands, and miles of crushing depths. But if water truly means life, what kind of monsters could be hiding in an ocean that big? Today we are traveling about 100 light years away, deep into the constellation of Draco. We are leaving dry land behind entirely to visit a super Earth TOI 1452b, the water world. Now, remember the golden rule for this trip. You are completely indestructible. You cannot drown. You are a cosmic ghost, here to dive into the most terrifying, majestic ocean in the universe. As we approach the system, the first thing you notice is the light. There is no single yellow sun here. TOI 1452b orbits in a binary system. There are two stars in the sky, and both of them are red dwarfs. They are smaller, cooler, and dimmer than our sun, casting a deep, ominous crimson glow out into the vacuum of space. But red dwarfs have a dark side. They are notoriously violent. They regularly blast out massive, highly radioactive solar flares. As we drift into orbit, you can see the planet's atmosphere reacting to the radiation. The entire upper atmosphere is glowing with violent, twisting auroras. From up here, the planet is completely featureless. There are no green continents, no brown deserts, no white ice caps. It is just a perfect, smooth, dark blue marble. Let's drop in. We fall through a thick, heavy atmosphere, but long before we hit the water, the weather hits us. On Earth, a hurricane eventually dies when it hits land. The mountains and the dirt break up its momentum. But here, there's no land. There is absolutely nothing to stop the wind. Because of that, you are dropping straight into a hypercane. It is a global storm that has likely been raging for thousands of years. The wind is screaming past you at hundreds of miles per hour. The rain isn't falling down. It is flying sideways like bullets. You push through the screaming wind and hit the surface. Splash down. You bob up and look around. The sky above you is a bruised, dark purple bleeding into a deep, blood-red hue near the horizon. It feels heavy, oppressive, and the waves are monsters. You are floating in an endless, rolling sea of dark, violet-tinted water. The gravity here is about 70% stronger than on Earth, which makes the water feel ridiculously heavy. Driven by that endless hypercane, massive walls of water the size of skyscrapers rise up around you. They swell, crest, and crash with a deafening, thunderous roar that vibrates right through your chest. And then, things get even crazier. Because this is a binary star system, the day and night cycle is chaotic. Sometimes one sun sets while the other stays high in the purple sky, casting long, eerie double shadows across the violent waves, but eventually both suns dip below the horizon. Night falls, and it is absolute. There is no moon here to reflect the light. The bruised sky fades into a pitch-black void. You are floating in complete sensory deprivation, completely blind, listening to the deafening roar of skyscraper-sized waves crashing all around you in the dark. But we aren't here to just ride the waves. If we want to see what this ocean is really hiding, we have to see what lies beneath. Let's sink. Hi, sorry for interrupting, I just have a quick update for you all. You know how something crazy is always happening in space? New planets, strange anomalies, and space missions launching all over the world? That's exactly why we have started a weekly space newsletter called CosmicGazeYT that brings you the most exciting space updates every week. The first issue is completely free on my Patreon, so you can go read it right now. If you enjoy it, you can upgrade to get a new issue every week there and stay up to date with everything happening in space. And you can even join our private chat there to discuss it all together. The link is in the description, so do check it out. And hey, if you don't want to spend money right now, no issues, I'll see you in the YouTube comments. Thank you so much for watching my content. Back to the video now. Let's sink. You slip beneath the violent crashing surface. Instantly, the roaring thunder of the storm is muffled, replaced by the deep, heavy silence of the underwater world. We drop through the sunlight zone, The red light from the twin suns above filters down through the water, turning it into a beautiful, eerie magenta. But it doesn't last long. Red light doesn't penetrate water very well, so the glow fades incredibly fast. Within a few hundred feet, the magenta turns to deep blue, then dark blue, then indigo, and then total, suffocating black. We are sinking into the abyss. On Earth, if you drop a rock into the absolute deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench, it falls for about 7 miles before it hits the sandy, rocky bottom. Here, we pass the 7-mile mark and we keep falling. 10 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles down. There's no sand. There is no rock. There is only water. You are suspended in a pitch-black liquid void that is so impossibly huge it breaks the human mind. The pressure building around you is staggering. If you were in a nuclear submarine, the titanium hull would have collapsed like a soda can tens of miles above you. Now let me remind you again. We have not confirmed if there is any life on this planet. For all we know, this massive ocean is just a sterile, dead void. But let's just imagine for a second, if life did find a way to evolve in this endless, bottomless abyss, it wouldn't look like the fish back home. Without a rocky sea floor to provide geothermal vents or heavy nutrients, biology would have to get weird. It would have to be incredibly efficient and incredibly massive. Imagine looking out into the freezing black and seeing a faint, ghostly blue glow. Bioluminescence. A shadow the size of a city block, moving silently through the crushing deep. It has no eyes, there's no light down here to see with anyway. Instead, it has long, trailing, glowing tendrils stretching out for hundreds of feet, feeling the water for the slightest vibration. It is a true leviathan, a deep-sea nightmare slowly filtering the dark water, feeding on whatever chemical snow falls from the upper currents. You are indestructible, completely off the food chain, but just watching a creature like that glide past in the dark would make your blood run cold. We keep falling, deeper. 100 miles down, the weight of the water above you is now so extreme that the physical properties of the ocean start to completely break down. The water around you becomes thick, sluggish, and then the temperature begins to spike. We are getting closer to the planetary core. The pressure is mind-bending and the heat is boiling. Under these specific conditions, the water actually stops being a liquid. But because of the crushing pressure, it can't turn into a gas either. It becomes a supercritical fluid. You are now sinking through a thick, highly reactive, plasma-like fog that can dissolve almost anything it touches. It is an entirely alien state of matter, a glowing, superheated soup of crushed water molecules. We push through the supercritical fog, and then finally, hundreds of miles below the crashing red waves of the surface, you don't hit rock. You hit something completely alien. Your boots touch down on a solid floor. But it isn't stone, and it isn't dirt. It is ice. But this is not the ice you put in your drink. The temperature down here is actually incredibly hot, heated by the deep radioactive core of the planet far beneath you. This is a bizarre, exotic state of matter called Ice 7. Because the pressure down here is millions of times greater than the surface of the Earth, the water molecules are physically crushed into a solid, crystalline grid. It is ice formed by pure, violent pressure, not by cold. You are walking on a glowing, hot, solid ocean floor made of crushed water. You are standing at the absolute bottom of the world, pinned down by billions of tons of dark water, standing on hot ice, miles beneath an ocean where leviathans swim in the dark. It is the level of isolation that is almost impossible to describe. It is time to leave. We push off the exotic ice, shooting back up through the miles of crushing dark. We rise past the supercritical fog, past the massive shadows of the deep, back into the indigo, back into the magenta, until we finally breach the surface and burst back out into the screaming hypercane. You float on the rolling skyscraper-sized waves, looking up at the twin red suns. It really changes how you look at a glass of water, doesn't it? We look for water in the universe because water means life. It means hope. But TOI 1452b is a brilliant, terrifying reminder that the universe doesn't care about our comfort zones. It takes the very thing that gives us life and scales it up until it becomes an endless, crushing abyss. It is beautiful, it is majestic, and it is completely unforgiving. If you enjoyed this journey and got some info from it, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to CosmicGazeYT, and turn on the notification bell. We've still got a lot of universe to explore, and I'd love for you to join me on the next adventure. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.